What up? What up? What up? Rec League Podcast, man. How in the hell have y'all been, man? Episode number 7. On today's episode, man, expect a little bit of How High 2 talk, a little bit of Suicide Squad 2 talk, the Marvel Netflix chaos that's been going on recently. Um, and then I got what I've been hyping last episode in my YouTube movie reviews on my personal channel. Find me at Randy Little. Um, I'm gonna get friends, family, a coworker. They're gonna Skype in 5 favorite movies to watch during the horror season, and then my wife and I are gonna just discuss horror movies, our favorites, remakes, sequels, some that are overrated, and just chop it up about horror movies. Nothing too heavy in sports. First few days of the NBA season, a little bit of NFL catch up, fantasy football, if you will, and then Old Man Lawrence, maybe Legacy. They're gonna come on, and we're all gonna do separate hip hop album reviews, man. Um, let's catch y'all up on the Twitter polls right quick. Y'all know on the Twitter I run at Reg League Pod. I run different poll questions, and you guys vote, and then every episode I give y'all the results. That is how we do it. Let me find the first one. It was because La La Land came out, right? Damien Chazelle directed. First Man comes out over the weekend. Which of his first 2 movies do you prefer? Whiplash, La La Land. Whiplash takes this one 57%, La La Land 43%, and then I ran the well, maybe I only did one last weekend. I swear I thought I did 2. And the 2 most recent, with New Halloween comes out, which iconic slasher do you want to see get another shot at the big screen? Leatherface, Jason, Freddy, Chucky. Jason wins this one, 50%. Freddy, 40%. Leatherface got 10. No votes for Chucky, even though Chucky is the only one that I know coming out with a new movie. And then for the sports fans, NBA is finally returning. I want to know who you guys thought was going to win the NBA Finals. The Celtics won with 67%, the Warriors 33%, and the Rockets and Lakers got no votes. So that's it for the Twitter poll questions. Just, if you're out there, man, invite your friends to the YouTube channel. Get them to find the Instagram, the Facebook. All those are at Rec League Podcast. Twitter, where you can vote on the polls that I tell you guys about, man. At Rec League Pod. Build the audience, man. Share the pages. Everything helps. Everything helps, man. When I get back, we gonna talk a little movies and get into the montage with the lists and the discussion with my wife. Reg League Podcast, man. Okay, man, we're back. We're gonna talk a little bit about a couple movie topics. First, recently released on Blu-ray in between the past couple shows, man. Hotel Transylvania 3 Summer Vacation came out, even though every copy of the Blu-ray just wiped away Summer Vacation. I wish they would have done that in July before the movie came out to theaters. Hotel Artemis came out. I bought it, still haven't watched it, hoping it's good. And then Skyscraper with The Rock. I'm a huge fan of The Rock. Even if his movie's trash, I might still buy it. But lately, like, I think he's like cracked the code. Like, he knows what he's good at, and he knows how to make an entertaining movie. And then this past Tuesday, Ant-Man and the Wasp came out. it's low-key crazy to think that Marvel Studios has released 4 movies on home media this year. And Ant-Man and the Wasp is definitely going to be underrated just because of the calendar year it came out. The villain is going to be underrated. Um, everything I said except Hotel Artemis is reviewed on the YouTube channel, like I always say. And then next week, Sorry to Bother You comes out. Something else I haven't seen, but I'm buying and I'm really looking forward to watching it. Oh, and also DreamWorks finally released Ants on Blu-ray. So if you're looking to upgrade your DVD of Ants, go to Amazon, man. In theaters, First Man came out. Bad Times at the El Royale came out. I really dug both of those. And then Goosebumps 2 Haunted Halloween came out. And for me, in my opinion, that was a bit of a letdown. And then this past weekend, the weekend that the show is dropping, the official Halloween sequel, 40 years later, the events in 1978 have impacted Laurie Strode, and she's been counting the days, the months, the years until Michael Myers escapes confinement, and she's ready, man. I can't say I am head over heels in love with this Halloween movie, but I really enjoyed it. So far, it's in my top 10 movies of the year. That's how much I really like this Halloween movie. Next weekend, you got like Hunter Killer, Johnny English 3. I don't remember the subtitle. And then I think there's a religious movie coming out that the name escapes me right now. I don't think I'm going to see any new releases next weekend, but I might rewatch Halloween. I'll tell you that. So let's jump into a couple of these stories. How High 2, 17 years after the original. How High 2 is finally coming out. I can't remember who's starring in it. A bunch of young rappers I don't listen to and I'm not a fan of. But I discovered this on Jalen and Jacoby. There will be no Method Man and no Redman in this movie. Do you know how many people are not going to go see this movie simply because Method Man and Redman are not in it? Like, this whole idea needs to be scrapped, and they need to put together How High 2 that revolves around Silas, that revolves around Jamal, and it could take place right after the first one. It could take place damn near 20 years later. But we need Method Man and Redman starring in How High 2. Suicide Squad 2 was recently announced to have hired James Gunn, director of the first 2 Guardians of the Galaxy movies, who I might have touched on his controversy in episode 1. Go back and check that out. But at least to write. James Gunn is going to write, and possibly, I haven't heard any official word about directing, but he could maybe direct Suicide Squad 2. And I think DC and or Warner, they're probably one and the same. Warner Brothers has given James Gunn the freedom to use whatever characters he wants. And I could be wrong. I'm not the news provider. I just spread the word. So I could be wrong. Don't hold my feet to the coals. But I heard that James Gunn might have the freedom to recast characters. I'm not sure about that. I enjoyed most of the characters. Like Captain Boomerang is the only role I like Jai Courtney in. Of course, I love Margot Robbie as Harley Quinn. I love Will Smith as Deadshot. I liked Karen Fukuhara as Katana. Other than that, man, recast away. You could damn near recast Joker, and I wouldn't bat an eye. But at the same time, I want to see Jared Leto's Joker get a more focused story that he's actually featured in more, and all of his footage doesn't get cut by the studio. And lastly, I want to talk about Netflix, man. Netflix is tripping right now. Netflix has canceled 2 reasons why I even keep my subscription active. That's Iron Fist. Last week they canceled Iron Fist after 2 seasons. My theory on that is the masses didn't enjoy Iron Fist season 1. So not that many people came back to see the vastly improved Iron Fist Season 2. Me and Legacy talked about that a few episodes back. Go back and look for that as well. And then just over this past weekend, after 2 seasons and 4 months after Season 2, Luke Cage got canceled. I enjoyed Luke Cage Season 1. Mahershala Ali, Cottonmouth, phenomenal. It takes a little bit of a downturn after Diamondback comes in, and then Bushmaster is one of the top 2 villains in all of the Marvel Netflix universe. The rumor, there are multiple rumors. Netflix might be axing these shows because maybe there's an under the table backdoor agreement with Disney that Disney's going to usher everything into their streaming service. There's also, it could be fake. Like I said, don't take me at my word because I just spread the word. I don't report the news. Supposedly on Twitter, Marvel posted a picture, like a Heroes for Hire picture, advertising that show was coming on Netflix. And then it was instantly deleted. So somebody could have hacked in, posted it to troll, or it could have been legit and the word just wasn't ready to be spread yet. I really hope that they stay on Netflix, because when all this happened, when Disney come out, hey, we're pulling all our Disney material off Netflix except the Marvel Defenders shows. Those are going to stay on Netflix because those are pretty hardcore for a Disney audience. I really hope they're going the Heroes for Hire route, and Luke Cage and Iron Fist are both still in this world and they just aren't ready to announce anything yet. And because I don't want to pay for another streaming service. There's probably going to be a lot of dope content on the Disney streaming service for somebody like me who loves Marvel, who enjoys Star Wars and is a kid at heart and likes all that animated Disney stuff. But Stranger Things, among other shows, I don't really want to cancel my Netflix subscription either, man. So we gonna flip this right quick, and we're gonna get into the horror movie montage with the endless amounts of friends and family that I invited to do it. Stay tuned. Okay, guys, and like I've been advertising, we got friends and family jumping on Rec League Pod right quick to do this horror movie montage. Your 5 favorite movies to watch around October, Halloween season, 5 through 1, 1 through 5, however you want to do it. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm going to do 5 through 1, and my 5 is Freddy vs. Jason. My 4 is It. 3 is Hush. 2 is The New Halloween, and 1 is The Texas Chainsaw Massacre.
Okay, and like I didn't say at the beginning, this is my sister, friends, family. This is family. You got any Facebook, Twitter, Instagrams you want anybody to find you at?
No.
Okay, cool. Okay, next we got my social media homeboy. We talk movies a lot all the time, so I wanted to invite him. Just 5 through 1, 1 through 5 real fast.
All right, so I'm good to go. So my top 5, I struggled with a little bit. I struggled between, ones I love and watch over and over, and ones that are like guaranteed classics, like ones that, you would have to put in your list. So I think I got a pretty solid list. So I'm just going to run through it. Number 5, probably the one I've watched the most other than my number 1, and it's From Dusk Till Dawn. Like the most underrated Tarantino involved movie, I think I would say. It's some of his best dialogue. Some of like the most fun, I think, like action wise, gore wise. So that's one that I just watch over and over. And George Clooney, I wish he and Tarantino would hook up again, because I think together, like, few people have spat Tarantino dialogue as well as George Clooney does in From Dusk Till Dawn. So I think that's one that people should rewatch. So that's my 5. Pretty much 4, 3, and 2 were all just like bona fide classics. So I'm just going to run right through it. Number 4, I've got The Exorcist. That's like, it's like one of those movies I've probably only seen like maybe 5 times in my life, because it's so like serious and like disturbing. But it's like every time you watch it, you kind of take something new away from it, and you notice things you didn't notice before. You notice, like, you know, you watch it as you get older, it's like more disturbing in different ways because you age kind of like you're older than the character. You're old enough to be a parent now. So it's like, oh shit, like if this was happening to me, I don't even know what I would do. Whereas I was little, I was just kind of like, oh, I shouldn't even be watching this shit. Like, you know. So you enjoy it in different ways. You don't enjoy it in different ways. So that's one that I had to keep on the list. So that's number 4. Number 3, it's a movie that, like, some people, I mean, don't even think of it as a horror movie because you don't typically watch it at Halloween time. But to me, it's like one of the most bona fide, like, everybody that ever watched this movie got scared of it. And number 3 is Jaws.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, man. I mean, like, the classic, probably the most iconic horror musical score, I would say maybe ever. I mean, like, there's no, like, maybe it's arguable, but like that would be in the conversation. Like, it was like that. I can think of a couple other things, but like actually when you think of like a theme song for a character, it's
right.
Like, oh yeah, that's, oh shit, he's coming. Like, Jaws is here.
Get out of the water.
Like, so, but yeah, like my mom tells me stories about how like she didn't even want to get in her like friend's swimming pool after seeing Jaws. And so I'm like, you can't say that shit about that many movies. Like, you know,
yeah.
So you saw Child's Play, you still played with toys. You were just like, you know, that'll never happen. But
the
like
impact.
Jaws could happen theoretically, and so that's my number 3. It could have been higher. I kind of juggled. So that's number 3. Number 2. It's very much the rage right now. Very much what everyone's talking about. I just rewatched the whole series.
Mm-hmm.
But number 2, I got Halloween, the original 1978.
Classic.
Michael Myers, The Shape. It's not like the first slasher movie. It might not, like, you know, depending on what you talk about, it may or may not be the best, but like it's the most, like, it set off that trend. Like, the
right.
slasher genre wasn't even really a genre before Halloween hit.
Mm-hmm.
So then pretty much everything that came after Halloween, even though they were good ones, like you had your Jasons, your Freddys, everything that came after was still to a degree trying to emulate what Halloween did, like trying to figure out what made it work.
For sure.
Like the sequels to Halloween, the remakes, like they still never really captured that lightning in a bottle of like what really made this one work. And every time I rewatch it, I still get that feeling, like that enormity feeling, like when she walks out on her porch and like walks down, like she's trying to figure out what she sees and what she hears, and you know he's around.
Yeah.
That's just like, that feeling is so good, and they don't capture that in a lot of horror movies in general, but particularly slashers. So that's my number 2. And my number 1, if you follow me on any kind of social media, if you know me in person, you know that like number 1 is like my favorite movie pretty much ever. My number 1 is Scream, for a lot of reasons, but I mean mostly it was just like Scream hit when I was like 6 or 7, and I grew up. It was like one of those that I really grew up with. Like,
yeah.
I didn't grow up with Michael or Freddy. I had to like catch those, like, you know, oh, Mom, can I rent this? Like, the Scream came out, and like I remember it coming out and being like, what the fuck? My sister being like, you want to watch this movie? And I was like, sure. And just like, and it's another one of the things, like, you enjoy it to different degrees as you get older. Like, you know, once you're in high school, like once I was in high school was probably when I really like realized that Scream was my favorite movie. Because like, you know, you're coming of age and you see those characters and you can relate to like those emotions and shit like that. And just the whole whodunit aspect of it is just so well done. And it's probably my favorite, like, probably my favorite series overall too, because like none of the sequels suck. Like 2 is great, 3 is fine, and like 4 is good. Like, I liked 4. Like 4 was an improvement over 3, but none of them actually suck.
Right.
So that's one that, like, you know, I've watched Scream like at least once a year, probably for the past like 15 years. So that's definitely the favorite for like sentimental and nostalgic value. But That's my 5, man. I'm sure everybody has a different one. I can't wait to like watch the whole thing and see what everybody else picks.
There's definitely some variety. Speaking of social medias, you want to plug your social medias real quick so everybody can find you?
Yeah, sure. I'm at the Nick Goodman on pretty much everything. Instagram is probably what I'm on the most, but Twitter, Letterboxd, I need to get back on it. My Letterboxd game has been pretty weak lately.
I've been waiting for you to catch up.
I've been working a lot, so I got to come back and actually write some reviews. But at the Nick Goodman, Snap, Facebook, fuck it, I don't care. But that's me on pretty much everything. So
cool. I plan on doing it again for Christmas, so get your list ready.
Okay. Yeah, no, I already got my Christmas list.
Okay, man. Now we got my guy, Awesome Joe, Rec League, friend of the show. Your 5 favorite movies to watch during Halloween season, October, 5 through 1, 1 through 5, however you want to do it, man. Go ahead.
All right, so we're going to go ahead and start with number 1 here. It's going to be, of course, the traditional Halloween, the original 1978. And then number 2 is going to go towards Hocus Pocus with Bette Midler. And then we've got also with third would be the Nightmare Before Christmas, which is one of my all-time favorites of Tim Burton. And then number 4, we're going to go with Casper the Friendly Ghost with Bill Pullman and Christina Ricci in it. And then on number 5, I'm going to go ahead and go towards another Halloween flick, which is the Halloween 4, The Curse of Michael Myers, or the Return of Michael Myers.
Return, yeah. Okay, you got any Facebook, YouTube, social media profiles that you want to plug real quick?
Absolutely. You could always catch me on Facebook, Snapchat, and on YouTube under @AwesomeJoe.
Okay, cool. And now we got my dog, man, Rec League regular, OldManLawrence, 5 through 1, 1 through 5. What's your favorites movies to watch during October horror movie season, whatever you want to call it? Go ahead.
Well, I enjoy scary movies. I like horror movies. I really don't have a favorite to watch at a certain time of the year, like Halloween season. Like I don't bust out, like classics or whatever. But I do have some of my favorites. And you asked me to put together a top 5 list. Some of these are kind of silly, just childhood memories or whatever. And I got a couple on there from here recently that have just been stuck out to me in the genre altogether. So I'll start backwards, kind of add some suspense or whatever. I'll go with The Conjuring at number 5. The Conjuring first one was really dope to me. The second one was good as well. They got their own little universe going on right now with Annabelle and the Nun and all that stuff tying in. I haven't seen The Nun yet. Honestly probably gonna wait till it comes out on DVD or whatever. But the Conjuring universe is really good to me. And first movie was pretty dope. First movie in a while that kind of crept me out when I saw it at that time. It kind of made me feel uncomfortable a little bit. Some spooky ass scenes in it. Number 4, I'm gonna go with Hereditary, which just came out I think this year or last year maybe.
Yeah, it just came out this summer.
Yeah, it had to be this year. Man, I haven't watched a movie like that in a long ass time. Legit. If I would have been watching it by myself, I would have turned it off, man. There's no way I would have finished it by myself. There's no way. I'm just being honest. It's not really scary. It's just, I don't know, man. It just gets underneath your skin and just makes you I don't know. You're just there's certain scenes where you're just Eee. And I was watching it with a friend of mine, and if I would have been alone, like I said, I would not have finished this movie. It'd been a mystery. I don't know. I would have never finished it. I would have known what happened, how it ended. Yeah, it's a really good movie. Original, in my opinion. All the actors did a phenomenal job, especially the little girl. She was killing it. It's basically, the film revolves around just one family. So yeah, everybody in the family did an amazing job. So number 3, I'm gonna go with. I'm probably gonna catch some flack for this, but I'm gonna go with VHS, which is like a compilation,
like an anthology.
Anthology. Anthology. It's got I think 5 shorts in it. 3 of the 5 are spectacular, if you ask me. One of them is really good, and then the other one is whatever.
Mm-hmm.
But The first one on there is probably the most memorable. I won't, no spoilers. Where we don't do the spoiler thing on there, but it's got like this kind of like this creature at a nightclub or whatever. Some guys kind of like take her home, yada yada yada. Then shit hits the fan. It gets crazy. So yeah, the VHS they did VHS 2 and 3. 2 I enjoyed 2 a lot. I think 3 was called Viral. Not as good as the first 2, but it had a couple in there that were pretty good. So we're at number 2?
Yeah.
2, right? Number 2, I'll probably catch some heat for this one too, because you can't like anything of somebody who's committed a crime or whatever. But I'm gonna go with Jeepers Creepers. I know the director, producer, whatever, he's a scumbag. But
yeah,
it doesn't take away from everybody else who was involved in this movie and put in a lot of hours and work into the film. I thought Jeepers Creepers was amazing, and you probably remember when we watched it as kids, man. Like, it was one of those. It's one of those movies that kind of stuck with me throughout my adulthood, and I can still. It's one of those movies where I can watch right now and feel just like I felt the first time I saw it.
Yes,
says a lot.
Specifically, the scene where they're driving past and the creeper's like out in his yard chopping wood or whatever, and then he just keeps a gaze with them as they creep slowly past. Like, that'll forever be engraved in my memory.
Yeah, he was actually throwing bodies down that tunnel, and he throws a body down there, and then he like looks up at the car driving past. And they're like, did we just see what we thought we saw? It looked like a body. He's like, I don't think so. Maybe, probably not. But yeah, that just silhouette, that black silhouette, of this creature, looking at you with eye contact, following the cars you drive past. Like, yeah, it was the scenery in that. I was kind of out in the middle of nowhere in a small town. Added to it. Yeah, I don't know. It's guilty pleasure. I love that movie.
Did you ever see 3?
I can throw it on right now and still enjoy it.
Did you ever see the third one?
Nah, I actually started it, but
I haven't seen it either.
Like most things nowadays, I don't have a lot of time to actually. No, I haven't seen the third one.
I remember 2. I remember watching 2 at Movies 8, and I remember not liking it, but I want to rewatch
Movies 8? Shout out Movies 8.
Hell yeah. The whole employee roster, bro. We was all mobbing deep in there.
Hell yeah.
Number 1?
Number 1. Again, a guilty pleasure from my childhood. I gotta go with Leprechaun, man. As silly as it is, as stupid as it is, man. I freaking love that movie, and you can co-sign this. It's probably one of the most badass movies from our childhood, man. I don't know why we used to quote the hell out of that.
Fuck you, Lucky Charms.
If you watch it now, you're gonna laugh your ass off at how corny it is. But,
I don't care.
Same. It's guilty pleasure, and all of them. Leprechaun 2 was good. Leprechaun 3. And then he goes to space, and he goes to the hood. Like, they're ridiculous. Everybody knows they're ridiculous, but it's a guilty pleasure, man.
I'm rewatching the series right around St. Patrick's Day just to put it out there right now.
Yeah. Like I said, they're not they're not really. It's not really considered a horror movie or whatever. I mean, I guess it's kind of considered a horror movie. Like, nobody's gonna watch Leprechaun and be scared.
No.
Like, nobody is. But yeah, it's definitely my personal favorite scary movie, horror, whatever you want to call it.
You wanna
mostly just guilty pleasure.
You wanna remind the kids of your social media handles right quick?
Yeah. Find me on Twitter. That's basically the only social media I have at OldMan_Lawrence. Follow me on there. Tell me if you recognize me from the pod or whatever. Always on there chopping it up, mostly about sports, movie stuff every now and then. And the Rec League page on Twitter.
All right, cool. If you watching on YouTube, listening on whatever audio app, come back for the music segment. OldManLawrence gonna be back in that too. And we got my dog, man. Rec League regular, legacy. All right, man. What's your 5 favorite movies to watch during the Halloween season?
During the Halloween season, 5 favorite movies to watch. Number 5, Freddy vs. Jason. Number 4, Pet Sematary. Number 3, Child's Play. Number 2, Final Destination 2. Number 1, Halloween, the original. That's my top 5.
Cool. You got any social medias, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, Snapchat you want to plug right quick?
Hey, I'm plugging Rec League. Find me on it.
Cool.
Rec League Podcast.
Okay, next, we got my dog, my coworker, familiar face on the Rec League, Roberto! All right, man. 5 through 1, 1 through 5, whatever you want to do, man. Take it away. All right, let's go 1 through 5. Number 1 is going to be the original Halloween. Number 2 is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 6. Number 3 is going to be Scream. Number 4 is going to be Sinister. And number 5 is going to be Friday the 13th, Part 4. All right, man. Any social medias you want to plug before we get out of here? Nah, I can't even remember my Twitter handle. All right, cool. All right, now we got another one of my social media homies. And real quick, 5 through 1, 1 to 5, however you want to list them off, man. Your favorite movies to watch during the horror movie season.
All right, so I guess I'll go from, let's do 5 to 1.
Cool.
So, number 5, y'all might laugh a bit, but I'm going to say Hocus Pocus. And I'm pretty sure everybody likes Hocus Pocus, I think.
Yeah, it's come up a couple times.
Yeah, but no, it's just a great movie for the spirit of Halloween. It's just yeah, everything is right there, and yeah, it's a pretty funny movie too.
Yeah.
So, and that one for me just edged out another one that edged out Ernest Scared Stupid. So.
Oh yeah, I love Ernest.
So, you eat more on it, or you want to keep moving?
Nah, number 4.
Cool. So number 4 is probably the most recent one on the list, Trick or Treat, the anthology movie.
Yeah, I just bought it. I haven't watched it yet.
Oh, you haven't seen it?
I haven't seen Trick or Treat.
Oh man, so you get the Shout Factory?
Nah, I found a original release on eBay.
Oh, how much you spend on it, if you don't mind me asking?
I might have overpaid a little bit. I can't remember off top.
Is it DVD or?
No, it's the Blu-ray.
Oh, yeah, so that's probably out of print. But
Yeah.
Anyway, well, I guess without spoiling it, now you gotta definitely watch it. Once again with Hocus Pocus, it's the spirit of Halloween
Right.
thing, and even more so than Hocus Pocus, it feels like Halloween.
Right.
And the stories, it's pretty neat with what they do and without spoiling too much for you, but you'll see it's I guess an instant cult classic for a reason. But
that's what I've heard. The storytelling is real intricate.
Oh yeah, but now you gotta watch that, brother. Yeah,
I'll get to it, even if it's in November. I'll get to it.
No, it's all good. So, what number am I on?
3.
3. And I guess I'm gonna have to go with not really. This is just, I guess, horror. It is, the movie itself is based around Halloween. But I'm gonna go with The Thing, John Carpenter's The
Okay.
Thing. And the reason I said this one is just for the horror element.
Yeah. The Thing is real dope.
It definitely has that, and it's the horror, and the one part I like about The Thing, which doesn't get mentioned a lot, is the mystery.
Mm-hmm.
It's kind of a whodunit, but not
What done it?
Classic. Right? Yeah, there you go. What done it? That's even better. But yeah. So that's the horror and the gore, which are definitely staples of the Halloween season. So.
Sure.
Yeah, definitely John Carpenter's The Thing. So, what do I have? Hocus Pocus, Trick or Treat, The Thing. And number 2 is another anthology movie, Creepshow.
Okay.
And I don't know what it is, me and anthology horror movies, but it's something about the variety of it. And this one is one of the one of the more popular horror anthologies, and Stephen King himself.
Yeah, most definitely.
Yeah, and he's actually in it, in one of the stories.
Yeah, that's right. He pops up in his movies every so often, don't he?
Yeah, he actually stars in one of the stories, the one about the meteorite. I don't know if you remember.
Nah, I don't remember.
Oh, you gotta definitely check it out. I think Shout Factory has a Creepshow edition.
Even if I've seen Creepshow, it's been forever.
Yeah, no, he definitely got I don't even know if I own it. I just recently saw it on TV. I'm telling you. And And just let me know if I'm shooting through them too fast. I can always circle back.
Oh, no, you good.
So I guess that takes to number one. And number one is probably obvious.
I mean, I'm looking at your shirt and just taking a guess.
Right. So definitely, John Carpenter's Halloween, 78.
You seen the new one yet?
Yeah, I'm just finishing up my review. So I guess now you really got to say John Carpenter's Halloween because it's three different.
Yeah.
Because it's Rob Zombie's Halloween, it's this new one, and now the classic one.
Yeah, the OG.
Mm-hmm. But now Halloween definitely the number one because obviously it takes place on Halloween, it's based around Halloween.
Yeah.
And sorry.
No, you good.
But it's now I think I wrote somewhere on Instagram before the suspense level of the movie, how it's just ramped up, and without. And I got into a little bit of debate, and people seem to remember this movie some way, and it is not that way at all. This movie literally has no blood in it, if you think about it.
Yeah, I just watched it like 3 days ago. I don't remember.
I mean, really think about it. The only blood that's in the movie is on Jamie Lee Curtis's shirt when he tries to stab her and miss her.
What about the sister at the beginning?
It's probably even in. I think it's probably a little blood on the knife, but it's not minimal. Traditional. What's that?
It's like minimal blood.
Yeah, it's not, as far as how it is these days.
Yeah.
But no, people seem to remember the movie as really violent and gory.
Yeah, there's like 3 kills in the whole movie.
Yeah, and you're probably right. 3 on-screen kills, and
4 if you count the very beginning.
Guy.
Yeah.
But no, even without that, I just wanted to throw that out there as a little bit of, I guess, trivia. But no, John Carpenter, even though the movie is very popular among the season, I still think it's very overrated just from a good filmmaking standpoint. And it's just a great-looking film. And for a reason, I don't know if you're familiar with Dean Cundey, the cinematographer.
Not really.
All right, I guess I'll throw a little something out. Dean Cundey, he would go on to do cinematography for Back to the Future.
Oh, yeah.
Who Framed Roger Rabbit? Jurassic Park.
Instantly one of the greats. You ain't even got to say no more.
Right. But, the movie, even on a minimal budget, even back then, it was a minimal budget. And John Carpenter said he wanted the movie to look great and sound great.
Yeah, it definitely did.
Yeah, and it's just a classic. The classic in the definition of, the suspense definition from Alfred Hitchcock is just letting it build up, and explode.
Yeah.
And yeah, so basically, that's it. That's my current top 5 around the Halloween season.
Okay, cool. You got any Instagram, Twitter, Letterboxd, YouTube that you wanna plug real quick?
Well, the only social media I'm on is actually Instagram. So
okay.
That's gonna be at Sigmund 7 Cinema. SIGMON number 7 and Cinema.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Sigmund 7 Cinema.
Okay, next we got one of my old military homeboys. So just your 5 favorite movies to watch during the Halloween season, man. 5 through 1. Tell them what they are.
All right, you got Nightmare on Elm Street, Saw, The Ring, The Shining, and 13 Ghosts.
Okay, and you got any social medias that you want to let everybody know where to find you at real quick?
We got Instagram, Gains and Fitness. Also, my store, Innovation Nutrition, here in Del Rio, Texas. On Facebook, it's Innovation Nutrition Del Rio. And Instagram, it's just Innovation Nutrition. That one will include the Brownsville and the Del Rio location. Okay,
cool. Okay, now we got my mom to give her 5 favorite movies that she watches during the Halloween season. So go 5 to 1, 1 to 5, whatever you want.
I'll do 5 to 1. So the most recent that I found that I like is Don't Breathe. My fourth favorite is The Strangers. That one creeped me out. And anything by Stephen King, really, I couldn't pick just one. There's too many. I was going to say Creep Show, but then when I just saw the previews of the new Pet Cemetery, that one's going to be really good. I liked Pet Cemetery a lot when it was out before the first time. And then all the Friday the 13th movies, of course. And I have to throw in Friday the 13th and Halloween and Freddy Krueger. I have to put them all at the same time. And then when I was a kid, my favorite one was The Exorcist. That one was probably my favorite as a kid.
Okay, do you have any social media pages that you want to plug real quick?
I've got, since I'm a Cincy independent consultant, I'm on Facebook, Instagram, Pinterest, and I think that's all.
What's the handles or whatever it's called where they can find you?
They can look me up by my name, if they spell it correctly, Bekah, Williams, or my website address is livinwickless, so it's LIVNWICKLESS.Cincy.us. And my phone number is on my website, so if they want to text me at all or anything like that, that's fine too.
Okay, cool. All right, now we got my cousin on here. He's going to give us his 5 favorite movies to watch around the Halloween season, October, real quick. 5 to 1, 1 to 5, however you want to list them, man. Go ahead.
My number 1 is Return of the Living Dead, then Night of the Living Dead, then Child's Play, then Cujo, then Nightmare on Elm Street.
Cool. Okay, now we got my sister ready to give her list. So 5 to 1, 1 to 5, however you want to list them. Go ahead.
My number 1 is Hocus Pocus, then Child's Play, People Under the Stairs, Nightmare on Elm Street, and Halloween.
Okay, you got any social media profiles, accounts, anything you want to get the kids to find you at?
No, I'm not really interesting.
Okay, cool. Okay. Yo, man, huge thank you to everybody that submitted their list as a part of the montage, the horror movie montage. It is October. I've been hyping this for in my movie reviews and in the last episode. I'm excited for this. Diverse lists. I'm just pleased with the outcome, and I want to do it again around Christmas. So get your lists together for your favorites movies to watch around Christmas time ready right now. But I got my wife with me right now. We about to just talk horror movies. We're not going to give a list. We're going to buck the system. It's my system. I do whatever I want. It's my show, Reg League Podcast. And I forgot what I wanted to say, but just, some movies that you like, horror movies that you like, dislike, remakes, underrated movies, just whatever you want to talk about to kick it off.
Well, as you know, my favorite scary movie is the Halloween remake.
The Rob Zombie.
The Rob Zombie, yes. All-time favorite. I just love the way they show him talking, because in other Halloween movies, he's never talking. So we get a view of his life, his mom's a stripper, she's good to him. He loves her, but his stepdad's abusive. He's bullied at school. It shows us why he snaps. And I love that when he found his little sister, well, she was already grown up, but, initially he wasn't trying to kill her. He just wanted to, know her, I guess, and he didn't try to kill her until she rejected him, But yeah, hands down, that'd be my all-time favorite. A close second would be the It remake. Some movies that I think are underrated would be like The Skeleton Key. I mean, that's a really good movie.
With Kate Hudson.
Yeah. I think Get Out stole a lot of their,
Yeah, like y'all have no idea. I was trying to tell her how dope Get Out is. It's just a skeleton key. That's all I heard.
Well, The Skeleton Key is actually better. The movie we just saw yesterday was really good. Well,
Cabin in the Woods.
Yeah, it was really good. Ghost Ship's really good. I know you haven't seen that one.
I haven't seen Ghost Ship.
I don't know. There's just a lot of great scary movies. The Nightmare on Elm Street. The one I like is the Dream one. What's it called?
All the subtitles are Dream something. 3 is Dream Warriors. 4 is the Dream Master. 5 is the Dream Child.
I like the one where she gets a little bit of everybody that's died.
That's got to be Dream Master if she takes over there. Cause I'm gonna binge the Nightmare on Elm Street series here in a few days, so they're not as fresh in my mind as other ones.
And the Friday the 13th, I like the one where the girl, what's her name, Tina? She
the
has,
New Blood, I already know.
Telekinesis or something like that. Yeah, I like that. But still, hands down, Halloween. They ruined it with the sequel. I'm eternally disappointed in Halloween 2 by Rob Zombie.
Oh yeah. Rob Zombie's Halloween 2 is booty pimples.
Yeah. Huge letdown.
I mean, I'll piggyback off the Halloween because I think like you really like the remake. I think John Carpenter's Halloween is perfect, and then we just saw the new Halloween 2, whatever you want to call it.
Can I stop you right there real quick? I know it's your podcast, but you say the first Halloween's perfect.
First Halloween is perfect.
Okay, but he's like 6 years old. He just snaps. We never hear him talk. We don't even know. He's just like, why does he snap? The remake explains all that. It shows him getting bullied. It shows him like...
But like, I think it's like two different visions. Like, the budget on John Carpenter's Halloween plays heavy into what he had to work with. He just shows a little kid, you know what I mean? Grabs a knife, does what he does, and then it jumps to when he escapes. But I appreciate Rob Zombie giving backstory into the environment that he was in. But because like a lot of people, like the common movie fan, like you guys out there, like a lot of people bash the Rob Zombie movies for giving a backstory.
Well, but also he was more realistic. I mean, he was faster. He was freaking huge. He's scarier in my opinion. He was just. Now the one we saw yesterday, or did we see it today? No, we saw it this morning, right? The Halloween.
We saw it this weekend, the brand new 2018 Halloween.
What did you call it, hating or whatever?
Yeah, she was hating hard based on the trailers.
I mean, I wasn't trying to see a 60-year-old woman, with her walker being chased by a 60-year-old
Bro,
rifle.
she was like the Sarah Connor of horror movies, for real. She did nothing but train so much that her daughter resented her because she tried to prepare her own child for the return of Michael Myers, bro. Like, it was dope the way it was executed.
Yeah, you know what? It was way better than I thought. I did enjoy it, especially towards the middle. It got really good. I mean, he was a beast. But
yeah.
There's only the one part that I didn't like, but I'm not gonna bring it up, so I don't want to spoil it for anybody. But no, there was like 2 parts I don't like. I didn't like the doctor thing, and I didn't like the kid thing. But other than that, it was good.
Yeah, like to me, like John Carpenter, like his use of music, because like Michael is a beast in the original, but like when the music hits at specific times and it's creepy, there's an eerie vibe throughout the entire original movie. And like Laurie, even herself, like she was a survivor in that original movie, because there's a couple times that you could have called her like, I don't know, like dumb or whatever, but like she's one of my favorite final girls. Like the survivor of the movie is coined the final girl. Nancy from the original Freddy, and then Sydney from the Scream series would be my other 2. And I think like Scream is one of my other like favorite franchises. Period. Like I think I think Scream is a classic. I think Scream 2 is one of the best all-time horror sequels. And I'm biased, just like the Lethal Weapon series. Like, people knock the Lethal Weapon 3 and 4, but I can still find enjoyment in Scream 3 and 4. Touched on Friday the 13th. I rewatched those last year. I think 6 is one of my favorite, Jason Lives, because that's where he becomes, like, unrealistic, superhuman Mega Jason. One of the kills, he just, like, rips a guy's arm off just by throwing him into a tree or something. It gets so over the top, but I don't know, it's dope to me. And then the New Blood is real dope. I almost brain farted.
You know what I like is when the movies add the comedy. Like today, the little kid,
yeah.
I mean, he was hilarious. And then like in It, the one that was it the one with asthma where he's like, oh, so only virgins are seeing him? Is that
No. That's old boy from Stranger Things, Richie.
Yeah, I love that. And like the movie we saw last night, the
Cabin in the Woods.
The pothead guy. I mean, he was hilarious. I love having a little, you know, the
little bit of humor.
Yeah, the comedian in the crowd. I love it. And even the Scream movies. Remember where the guy's like, you know, my parents are gonna be so...
Yeah. Matthew Lillard was money in that first Scream movie.
What do you say? Did you really call the cops? And then he's like, my parents will be so disappointed in me.
My mom and dad will be so mad at me.
Yeah, I love that.
I was talking to my guy Roberto that was on here earlier. I was talking to him about Scream and how good Matthew Lillard was in that the other day. Yeah, like I got history with It. Speaking of It, like the miniseries terrified me. I saw it at 4 years old, watching it with my cousin Michelle. What up? I'm sitting there 4 years old when he gets Georgie, teeth come out. I'm covering my eyes, but I'm looking through my fingers, of course. And then I was there two nights later, November of 1990, watching part 2. Pennywise shows up in the moon, turns into the dog. What's his name? Bowers escapes the mental institution, and then the movie, it's not a remake. I think the It movie is more loyal to the book than the miniseries, and it was in my top 10, maybe top 5 favorite movies overall of last year. So I'm looking forward to It Part 2. You of all people know how much I'll be talking about the next It movie.
And you damn near predicted all the actors they were going to get to play the adults.
Nah, I got Jessica Chastain, and I got Bill Hader, and I think that's it. I definitely can't wait for It Chapter 2 to come out. What about like remakes or like horror movies you think are overrated?
I really like the Chucky movies initially, and then I hate the direction that they took. You know?
I feel that.
Pet Sematary, of course, is a classic. The Leprechaun movies also kind of started off good, and then they just kind of messed them all up.
I got childhood nostalgia with the first Leprechaun.
You know, 13 Ghosts was really good too. I saw that when I was younger.
I saw that a couple times. You know, a movie I might catch a lot of hate, maybe even lose some listeners, viewers for this. I feel like the Naomi Watts movie, The Ring, is severely overrated.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion. But I watched it once after like my mom bought the DVD, and I didn't get the hype.
Yeah, I didn't either. I'm gonna agree with you.
I
think we miss out on a lot of good scary movies just because we don't kind of watch the spirit movies.
Yeah. If you're wondering like where all the possession, exorcist, haunted, that's not our flavor.
Yeah, we're more into like the slasher movies, I guess.
Yeah. I've over the past couple years, I've seen the Purge movies, which are solid. Like I swear, like if you've seen one, you've seen them all. But like I feel like they're all like not one is better than the other ones, in my opinion. People are low on the first one because it's just a home invasion movie. Speaking of home invasion, Your Next is really dope. And then I was gonna bring up the remakes, like the remakes of the 2000s in the last decade or so. I think the Texas Chainsaw remake is real dope. I think the prequel is horrible. It's gonna sound hypocritical, but when I was in the military, me and Souza and Chip were in like San Antonio, and we watched the Amityville remake. And I mean, I liked it at the time, but I didn't know like what all came with it.
I mean, those were the type of movies I preferred. Like, those were the type of movies I always watched, you know?
Yeah.
It's just now we don't really watch that. But.
Yeah. I like the Friday the 13th remake. I like the Nightmare on Elm Street remake more than most people.
Can I interfere?
Yeah.
I initially liked the Nightmare on Elm Street. I just didn't like the ending. I didn't like the fact that he was guilty, you know? Yeah, I think it would have been better if he wasn't guilty. It would make more sense why he was trying to vindicate, you know, get vengeance. And you know that I hated that. It ruined it for me.
There's other ones out there that I'm blanking, like the camera's on and I'm blanking. We covered the Halloween remakes. I really like the first Rob Zombie. Like I said, Halloween 2, Booty Pimples, can't stand it. I swear there's other ones.
You know, even Candyman. I was thinking about that earlier.
I've never seen Candyman.
You know, it's weird because it's...
Shout Factory joint is coming out, though.
He doesn't, you know... Freddy's, like, scary. So is Michael. And this guy doesn't have anything. You know, he's got a hook, but it's just, you know... Just a guy. And he's super scary. Like, I was scared.
Yeah, I remember... I read once another childhood story. Like, Candyman came out, and I wanted to see it. I was like 6 years old, and my aunt wouldn't let me watch it because it was too scary. But when I had was visiting family down in Mississippi, and they allowed me to watch Bram Stoker's Dracula with like Anthony Hopkins, Keanu Reeves, Winona Ryder, Gary Oldman. I think. And recent horror, recent real dope horror, like you still haven't seen A Quiet Place. Mm-mm. A Quiet Place is one of my favorite movies all year. And then Get Out from last year, we touched on that a little bit. I don't know if I really call it Annihilation horror. It's like more sci-fi, but that was good. Oh man, I like Zack Snyder's Dawn of the Dead. Zombieland. There's an animated Addams Family that comes out next year that I'm looking forward to. Zombieland 2 comes out next year. I think with the success of this new Halloween, I think more slasher movies will get greenlit back into theaters. I think the first 3 Child's Play movies are real dope, and then like the comedy elements that you was talking about was kind of the downfall of the series.
You know, I really like, I was thinking too, there's 2 Keanu Reeves movies that I really, really enjoyed. And one is Constantine, which we won't watch now, but I really thought that was a great movie. And also the, what is it, The Devil's Advocate?
Yeah.
Where he comes out with,
Al Pacino.
Yeah, that movie's just flawless. And all the actors are good. What's her name? The girl that...
Charlize Theron.
Yeah, I mean, they just, and yeah, it was just epic. I love that movie. It's really good.
Man, I swear, I had a bunch of things in my head I wanted to touch on before the camera came on, and now I'm losing it. I don't know, man.
We just saw the Goosebumps.
Yeah.
We're talking about how he's always shitting on Stephen King.
Yeah. Yeah. The Goosebumps movies love for R.L. Stine to take jabs at Stephen King. That's pretty funny. Yeah, before we wrap up, what non-traditional horror, family horror, not Goosebumps, not Addams Family, not anything we've already touched on. Is there anything else?
Family movies would be probably, I guess, Casper.
Yeah, Casper's good. Beetlejuice.
Oh, of course.
Beetlejuice is real dope. Michael Keaton, Tim Burton. I think that's it, man. Anybody out there listening on the audio only, watching on the YouTube, y'all want to jump in the conversation? Give us some of y'all favorites. Whatever your favorite movies are to watch during the scary season. Drop a comment. Hit us with a voice message. I will read y'all comments on the next episode. Just let me know. Huge thank you to my wife for jumping in. Real cool. There ain't no social medias, anything you want to
No.
shout out or nothing, is it?
No.
So that's it. When I get back, I'm gonna briefly touch on the first few days of the NBA season and a little bit of NFL, fantasy football, this, that, and the third, whatnot. Rec League Podcast, mate. Oh, we back, man. We back. It's time for sports. And I'm going to keep it really, really real with y'all, man. Sports is going to be short today. Sports is probably going to be like 5 minutes today. I want to touch on NBA. The NBA season is like 5 days deep. My Pacers have looked good in 2 games, have looked incompetent in 1, and it sucks. We looked amazing against the Memphis Grizzlies, against the Brooklyn Nets, who are both going to be lottery teams. We looked like we didn't belong against the Milwaukee Bucks. And that sucks because they're the division competition. We couldn't stop Giannis in the first half. And I think it was maybe a slow start. We got it going late. Bojan Bogdanovic, who lit Memphis up. He didn't make a field goal. Miles Turner is starting slow-ish to the season. He had a good first game, but the last 2, I don't know. I need more, man. I like Miles, man. I want Miles to be great. And then the rest of the league, I've kind of sort of paid a little bit of attention. Golden State beat Utah the other night on a Jerebko tip-in. They're going to be so scary once Boogie gets back. LeBron still looks weird in Laker colors, and I like Rajon Rondo, man, but you can't be spitting in people's faces, bruh. Rajon Rondo took the uttermost disrespect toward Chris Paul. Like, it don't matter if y'all don't like each other, man. You can't be spitting in nobody, man. You can't be spitting nobody on the court. Like literal fists were actually thrown. Like, this wasn't, once again, I shout Jalen and Jacoby, but this wasn't a hold me back moment. Like, fists were thrown. Rondo threw hands at Paul. I think Paul got one off at least. And LeBron got Chris Paul out of there. Because Rajon Rondo was crazy, man. And I'm going to talk about this now because I'm thinking about it right now. It could be a TV entertainment topic, but it's also very much a sports topic. If you guys aren't watching The Shop on HBO, look it up, man. Get the HBO Go app. Find it on your DVR, cable subscriber, TV Guide. However you find the TV you watch, man. The Shop is like it's only aired like 2 episodes over like 6 weeks, but The Shop is I love The Shop, man. Like it's LeBron, it's Maverick Carter in a barbershop, and the first episode had like Jon Stewart, Snoop Dogg, Odell Beckham Jr., one of the Bennett brothers, I think Candace Parker, Draymond Green, and they're just chopping it up. And it's LeBron as real as I've ever seen him. It's like it's just LeBron being real. Like, it's the side of LeBron that he doesn't put on for interviews or on the court or anything that I've seen him do since 2003. Episode 2 had my guy Victor Oladipo, and the first thing they had Victor Oladipo do was sing. Go figure, man. Hey, Victor Oladipo got pipes. Who else was on this episode? The main focus of this episode was Drake, and they was talking about the Pusha T beef. They was talking about him as a parent. They was just talking about life. His interactions with Kanye West, whatever. And I think Elena Delle Donne was on this episode. Ben Simmons was on this episode. Mo Bamba was on this episode, and they're all just being real, man. They're shedding the image that the media puts them as, and they're being themselves. Like, it's so dope to watch, and they're only half-hour long episodes. And I don't know, man. I got thoughts on the Drake stuff, but you know, I'm a fly on the wall watching a TV show. Like, I don't know these dudes personally, but my message is, if you like sports and you like real, uncensored discussion, check out the shop. And NFL, man, like, I don't even want to really talk about NFL with y'all because my Colts are 2-5. The day I'm recording this, we put a hurting on the Buffalo Bills, but the Colts beating the brakes off the Buffalo Bills is the same as the Pacers beating the brakes off the Grizzlies or the Nets. They're not competitive. The Bills are one of the worst teams in the league. So, and then we play the Raiders next week. So even if we lose, like if we look good, like that's not gonna be that big of anything to talk about. What I like, my biggest takeaway from this NFL season so far is the Raiders traded Khalil Mack. Khalil Mack has come out and put the league on notice that he deserved to get paid, and the Raiders were idiots. What else I want to talk about, my other biggest surprise is Patrick Mahomes. Going at the end of last season, it was all, what are we going to do with Alex Smith? Patrick Mahomes need to take the keys. And over the summer, off season, first couple weeks of the season, I just was never sold on Patrick Mahomes. Now, Patrick Mahomes is that dude. The comeback in Denver, the fight in New England. And that New England game, Kansas City easily could have got blasted. But he had the moxie of a seasoned veteran. And in Foxborough, in hostile territory, got the Chiefs to fight back to barely lose. So I like Mahomes, man. One of my favorite quarterbacks in the league for sure. He's not, I don't like him more than Andrew Luck, but I'm a homer and I'm biased. So take that at what it is. And when we get back, OldManLawrence is going to be back on here and we're going to be talking the new Atmosphere album and the new T.I. album. Rec League Podcast, baby. And we back, man. Time to close out episode 7 of the Rec League Pod. We talking hip-hop right now. OldManLawrence back like he never left. He gonna talk about that new Atmosphere album. I'm gonna talk about the new T.I. album. And then I'm gonna build anticipation for episode 8. You a big Atmosphere fan, right? So what you think of it? Standout tracks, features, beats, production, whatever.
Yeah, I don't know if I can call myself a big Atmosphere fan, but I am definitely a fan. And Atmosphere has been around forever. It seems like putting out some good music. My older brother, some of y'all might know, was on the NBA pod or whatever. He actually introduced me to Atmosphere when we were a little bit younger. My favorite all-time album of theirs is when Life Gives You Lemons, You Paint That Shit Gold. And that was probably my introduction to Atmosphere, which after that I kind of went back and listened to a lot of their old stuff. You know, I jumped on the Atmosphere train a little late because, like I said, they've been out for a while doing their thing. They've been on the hip hop scene out of Minneapolis forever.
Rhyme Sayers,
Rhyme Sayers and E&T, which we know got Brother Ali, Dim Atlas. You know,
Brother Ali.
So they got a lot of people on there. Very dope label, underground, but weirdly not underground. I don't know.
What's her name? Nicki Jean that was on Lupe album is Rhyme Sayers, right?
I don't know if she is or not. Honestly, I don't know.
I saw a post that they retweeted on Twitter. I'm not sure.
Freeway was on Rhyme Sayers for an album. I don't know if he still is.
Freezer.
But yeah, they got a nice little label. Yeah, get back to the Atmosphere. This one's called My Vida Local. Mi Vida Local.
I don't know Spanish.
I don't even say it. It's 12 tracks, I want to say. Yeah, 12 tracks. Their last album was Fishing Blues, which came out 2 years ago, I want to say. And then before that was Southsiders. I like this album a little bit better than Fishing Blues. And it's pretty much on par with Southsiders. It might be a little bit better than Southsiders. But yeah, this is a classic Atmosphere album to me. And I think this is, as far as production goes, I think this is like his best work in a while on an Atmosphere album. I think Ant is a genius. If you guys don't know Atmosphere, Ant is the one that does the instrumentals or whatever. He's the other half. There's only two people in the group. It's Slug, the one that does the rapping, and Ant on the ones and twos or whatever. But some of the standout tracks, man, I gotta go with Stopwatch was really dope. The beat on that is crazy. We were just talking about Ant. That's one of those beats that kind of stand out on here. Drown featuring Casanova, The Lioness, Dim Atlas. Dim Atlas has got a good voice. He kind of sings on the hook or whatever. And he's perfect for it. Actually, the best part of this album is the middle part. You get to track 5, which is Drown, which I was just talking about, all the way down to Miho. And I think that's the real meat and potatoes of the album. That's where the best songs are, in my opinion. Anymore, which is a really dope song talking about relationships. Earring is a really dope song talking about relationships. Trim, which you hear the title Trim, you're like, Trim, it could be anything, I guess, but it's talking about getting some trim. Like getting some actual trim. It's cool because it's like an adult perspective or whatever, from like a married couple.
only old ass adults call getting the draws trim anyway.
Say what now?
I said only older adults call getting the draws trim. You got some trim last night?
You're right. This album is Atmosphere kind of jokes around. This album is like dad rap, and it more or less is. And honestly, I kind of feel like the standout albums of 2018 have been, I don't want to say dad raps, all of them, but they have been like some grown up hip hop,
more mature content.
Like some of the best albums this year, KOD, which talks about a lot of heavy subjects. Book of Ryan talks about a lot of heavy subjects. Fonte, No News is Good News is in my top 5. Jericho Jackson is in my top 5 as of right now. All the albums that are in my favorites so far 2018 is stuff that the younger crowd is not necessarily on. I feel like it'd be a certain age group to respect and appreciate. And this album falls into that category for sure. But one track I want to talk about, Earring, featuring a guy named Musab. Not sure if I'm pronouncing that right. Never really heard of him. But he's got a guest spot on there, and his verse is probably the best verse on the album, man. It's a really dope song, and he's got a really dope verse on there. And honestly, every guest spot on this album is hot to me. Like nobody has a bad guest spot. So this is a real solid album to me. Like I said, I think it's better than their last joint. And I think it might be slightly better than the one before that one. So with that, I give this probably a 4. Realistically, it's probably 3.5. But I like Atmosphere. There's somebody that I always look forward to their projects. So on my personal scale, I'd probably give this a 4. Not their best work. Wouldn't fall into a classic at all. But it's a real solid album all the way around. And I've been spinning it pretty much since it came out. So I'm really digging it.
All right. And I'm going to talk about that new T.I. album, The Dime Trap. Came out on the 5th of October. I actually think it came out the same day as that Atmosphere. It's 15 tracks. It's got Sam Hook, Watch the Duck, Yo Gotti, Young Thug, Victoria Monet, Anderson .Paak, Meek Mill, Jeezy, YFN, Lucci, Tiana Taylor, London J's features, and Dave Chappelle pops in and out throughout the entire album. That's actually my favorite part of the album. Dave Chappelle just coming in because he got one. The Yo Gotti track. It's called Wraith, and it's a faster tempo beat. And Yo Gotti actually has my favorite feature on the album. And then Dave Chappelle just comes in surprised. Oh man, I wasn't ready for that. And then you know Dave Chappelle, man, he's just never apologize for being dope. And just stuff like that, words of wisdom. There's little snippets where it sounds like T.I. just playing him the album. He's just like getting a little private listening session. Seasons is cool. It's with Sam Hook on it. And Chappelle come in. I don't know. I think I heard the Chappelle say the same thing like once at the beginning and then like once in the middle of the album. He say, everything I say is the truth. And that's a lie. And that's the motherfucking truth. Dave Chappelle, man. I miss Dave Chappelle so much. And Laugh at 'Em is one of my favorite tracks, produced by Just Blaze. And it's one of those like big shit popping type, kind of radio, kind of poppy, but it's like it's T.I. on some braggadocious, I'm the shit type tracks. Big Old Drip is cool. Like I said, I like Wraith. I do not like The Weeknd. It's a radio jam featuring Young Thug. I don't get what the young hip hop fans see in Young Thug. Not for me. Like Eminem said, I'm not saying Lil Yachty is trash, but he not for me though. Same thing. The Amazing Mr. Fuck Up. It's another radio jam, Victoria Monet, but he's up. T.I.'s on some apologetic stuff. That track is cool. Then you got Hefe, another radio banger. T.I. comes cool. Again, Meek Mill is one of them dudes that I don't get it. I'm not saying he trash. I'm just saying I'm not a fan. And then
Meek Mill's not bad. He's not compared to some of the other cats that you named off on the guest spots on the track list or whatever. Yeah, Meek Mill, it's not that bad.
And then he got a couple other bangers on here that I like. I like the pacing and I like the cadence of his delivery and mixed with the beat. I don't know what they are off top though, because just looking at the track list, I can't hear the song. Overall, man, I think this, like, T.I.'s prime to me. I can go back and play any T.I. album in between Trap Music and Paper Trail. He was just in his bag, as they say. Every album could be argued a classic. And then he got the Gun Charges. No Mercy came out. Trouble Man came out. Paperwork came out. I think this is his best album since Paper Trail. 3.5 out of 5. It's nothing mind blowing. Like, T.I. knows how to make an album that's gonna get radio spins, and that's what he's good at. T.I. knows what he's good at, and that's what he does here. That's it for Rec League Podcast episode 7, man. We was gonna get Legacy on to talk about that Logic, fell through. Obviously, you guys know that he was in the horror movie montage. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Once again, appreciate everybody that submitted to that. Stay tuned for episode 8, man, because I have no idea what I'm going to do yet. Just chill until the next episode.